Hello friends, welcome into my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this very cute and easy dog hat. Now this is for a size large. I have done a dog hat in the size medium. I will put that right above here as well as the description box down below. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think of today's video, and let's get started. Materials for today's video: if you want a furry pom-pom, or you can make a pom-pom yourself, the size hook that I'm using is an I 5.5 millimeter. My camera does not want to focus, but this is a 5.5 millimeter hook. We will also be using some Red Heart soft yarn, and I'm using the color Wine. Now let's go ahead and get started. Now, starting out, we are going to begin with a magic ring or a magic loop. Now, I do have a video on how to do this, so feel free to click the link above and it will take you to that video. Now that we have our magic ring and we have chained up one, we want to chain two more, 1 and 2, for a total of 3 chains. Now we are going to go ahead and actually place 10 double crochets in total in the ring here. So for this first row, this chain 3 does not count as a stitch. So go ahead and make a total of 10. So there is 1. So again, double crochets, just yarn over, go into the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2. So now we have made 2 double crochets. So go ahead and do this until you have a total of 10 and meet me back here. Now that we have our 10 done, we can simply go ahead and pull that string tight. Sorry, my dog is barking at the cat. I don't know if you heard that. Now what we want to do is we are actually going to join with a slip stitch to the top of this first stitch here. So I'll show you that a little bit closer. So right here, we're going to go in and join with a slip stitch. Okay, now if you would like to mark that slip stitch off so you don't get it confused with a stitch, that would be a little bit helpful. So I'm going to grab a stitch marker just for demonstration. Alright, so now I have that stitch on there, stitch marker, so I know that that was just the slip stitch and we are not going to work into that stitch. Now I'm going to chain up 3 stitches, and this will count as our first stitch. And for row number 2, we are simply going to place 2 double crochets into every stitch. Now because this chain 3 does count as our first stitch, we are going to go directly back into this loop right here and make another double crochet. Now moving on to the next stitch, into this one here, we will place 1 double crochet, and then again back into that same loop, we are going to place 2. So we're going to do this all the way around. We're going to have 20 double crochets at the end of this row for row 2. So go ahead and do this and I will meet you back here. Here we have come up to round 3, and here's our little marker. So it looks like we still have one more stitch to do, but we don't. So if you go ahead and count your stitches, you should have a total of 20 double crochets. Now moving on to the next row, what we are going to do is we are actually going to slip stitch and chain into this chain 3 right here. So into the top of the chain 3, we are going to simply go in, not into the space, but into the chain, and make a slip stitch. Now if you would like to move your stitch marker up to that slip stitch so you don't get confused and we do not work into that stitch, it's helpful. Now chain up 3, and let's begin row 3. Now we are not going to double crochet back into the same space. What we're going to do is we're going to double crochet into one of our stitches, and then into the following stitch we will do 2 double crochets into the same space, and then we'll repeat that. 1 double crochet into the first stitch and 2 double crochets into the second stitch. So I'll show you that one time. So here's our chain 3 that counts as a stitch. So into the following we will make an increase. Here's 1, and then back into that space, we will do it again. Okay, so repeat that. So into the first one, we will have 1 double crochet, and then into the following space here, we will place 2 double crochets. Now you repeat that all the way around, and at the end of round 3, you will have 30 double crochets. So go ahead and do that and meet me back here. We are back for round number 4. So we have done 1, 2, 3, and moving on to 4, we're going to do the same thing. We are going to not work into the slip stitch right here. So we can take out that marker and we will move it up. So now we are going to do the same thing. So we will slip stitch into the top of our chain 3 right here and replace that marker into the slip stitch again, just so that we don't get confused. And round 4 is another increase row. So we'll chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. Now this counts as our first stitch. Into the next stitch we will place 1 double crochet, and then into the third stitch we will place 2 double crochets. So I will show you that. So into the second stitch we have 1, and then into the third stitch we're going to go ahead and place those 2 double crochets into the same space. And this will be our repeat all the way around. 1 double crochet into the first stitch, 1 double crochet into the second stitch, and 2 double crochets into the third stitch. So do that all the way around for row 4, and I will meet you back here for row 5. Here I am at the end of row 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you will have a total of 40 double crochets. Now we are increasing by 10 stitches in every row. So we only have 1 more row of increases to go. So let's go ahead and remove our stitch marker. Again, we are going to slip stitch to the top of our chain 3 and go ahead and replace that marker just like we have been doing, and then do your chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now this row is just the same as the others. The only thing is we are going to do 1 double crochet into the first stitch, 1 double crochet into the second stitch, 1 double crochet into the third stitch, and then into the fourth stitch we will place 2 double crochets. So basically you're doing 3 regular double crochets and then 2 into the same stitch. I put this up on the screen. I hope that this helps, but just a standard increase. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now right here we are going to make our increase, so 2 into 1 stitch, just like that. Okay, so we will repeat that around 1, 2, 3, all with normal, 1 into each, so 1, 2, 3, and then 2 into the fourth stitch. And then at the end of this row you will have a total of 50 double crochets, and then we're done with increasing. I have completed row 5, so you should have 50 double crochets at this point. Now for the next 2 rows, we are just simply going to place 1 double crochet into every single stitch. Again, moving up your stitch marker, try to keep those slip stitches tight when you do this, just so that you don't have too much of a seam, because this part right here is actually the front of the hat. Now if you want to change that up, you can, just the way that I have it made. I mean, you don't see it too much, especially when it's on the puppers. You're just so admired with the fact that your dog is wearing a super cute hat. Anyways, so we will slip stitch, chain the 3, and like I said, just put your stitch marker there so that you don't get confused and don't mess up your stitch count. And go ahead and work 2 whole rows of double crochets, just 1 into every single stitch, so you'll have 50 stitches for the next 2 rows, and then meet me back here. Now we are going to start working on row 8. Now row 8 is where we have the ear flaps. So we're going to do it a little bit differently than I did the first time. But go ahead and do your slip stitch into the first stitch and then replace your stitch marker into the correct spot. Now you want to do your chain of 3 for our first stitch. Now what we are going to do is we are going to double crochet 8. So this counts as 1. Into the next stitch is 2. I am going to work this whole row with you. 2, here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, grab some more yarn here, and 8. So including your chain 3, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 11, we're going to skip 11, and we'll double crochet into the 12th stitch. So simply chain 1, 2, 3, you don't want to do this too tight, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so try not to twist that. Now, not counting the stitch that we had just worked into. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now here's our 12th stitch, and that's where we are going to double crochet into. So yarn over, go into the 12th stitch, and make a double crochet. So that is how we do the ear flap, okay? Now what we're going to do is we are simply going to double crochet over the next 12 stitches. So this is going to count as our first stitch. So there is 1, 2, I think I'll fast forward through this spot. Okay, so I have gone ahead and done 12 double crochets. So now we want to work the next hole for the ear. So again, we're going to chain 11 and skip 11. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so now we're going to skip 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11. So into our 12th stitch, we will make a double crochet. Great job, you guys. Now we are going to double crochet across the remaining stitches. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So including this stitch here, we will have 8 total on this last side. So go ahead and do that, and then meet me back here for the next row. Alright, so this is what it looks like so far. We are getting close to the end. So here's our stitch marker. So again, we're going to go ahead and pull that out. We will slip stitch into our chain 3, replace that stitch marker right in there, just like that, and do our chain of 3. So now we are simply going to place 1 double crochet into every single stitch. You'll place 1 double crochet into each of these chain spaces. So in total at the end of this row, you will have 50 double crochets, including our chain 3. So that's our 1. Here counts our second stitch. So just go ahead and do that all the way around. Now for our last row, if you want to, you can add another row of double crochet. However, I like to end it about here. So we are going to do one row of half double crochets all the way around. So we're going to slip stitch to our first stitch. Again, like we have been doing, we're going to replace the stitch marker. Excuse me. And then we're actually going to chain 2 for this one instead of 3. Now into the next stitch right here, we are going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on our hook. Now we're going to do that all the way around. If you wanted to do this with white, it would give it a really great outline. It's all kind of up to you. But go ahead and work this row, meet me back here, and I will show you how to add the straps. Once you have that last row done, you simply slip stitch to the first chain there, chain 1, and then cut your yarn. And now it's time to move on to the ties. Now for the ties, it's pretty simple. You just want to get it like in the middle of where your ear was. So if you go to the first part where we started our chain, since we had done a chain of 11, you just want to count to the 6th one in. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So then we're just going to go up and double count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it's okay if this is not exact, you guys, as long as it's basically in the center. Now I like to tie a slip knot. I already have my hook in there. I'm going to attach it. We're going to pull it through, and then we're going to chain. Now you can chain as many as you would like. I believe for mine I did like 30 or 40. On this one that I have, I did not go and sew in the ends. I just made this one up really quick, so make sure you sew in your ends or else it's going to look like this. So once you have the number of chains that you want for your ear flap, I'm just going to do a few. You will simply work back down your chain with slip stitches. So you'll go through and pull through. Go to the next one, pull through, and pull through. And then you'll just do that all the way down the however many number of chains that you did. So once you were done with that, I like split all of my yarn right there. But once you are done with that, you will do the same thing. You will count over 6 stitches on the other ear and attach and do the same thing. But again, make sure you sew in your ends, because if you don't, you will have these weird funky things and then your project might fall apart. But anyways, yarn friends, great job on making your dog beanie. If you did enjoy this video, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys all next time on another tutorial or video here on Dream9 Designs Yarn Corner of YouTube. Bye friends!